These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Pompey Peter, the head of the armed forces, coming out and saying the whole of the armed forces from Wednesday to Wednesday, starting the day before yesterday through Wednesday of next week, are on the highest level of alert in the whole of armed forces. Level C. It's like a bloody call for a war, and so on. It's saying it's because the election on Monday, the 18th. That makes no sense. Most countries, like here in the UK and US, we don't have a day off for an election. Last time they had council elections, they had only 40% turnout. Pretty apathetic. It's Iraq. Give them a day off. Now, Sudani says they have 2 days off, Monday and Tuesday. Now we hear the whole bloody army's been called up on a massive stay of alert. Um, Pompey Peter goes on to say, I'm thinking these are council elections. Nobody gives a fiddle's fig about these things. Very strange. I thought, new small category notes, ATMs, a lot of people trying to get into a bank to change their notes. Thinking about it, they may want the army involved to protect movements of new notes and coins. The 20th, they've got 5 days to spend a big chunk of the budget that's been sitting there waiting for over 11 months. Why? Because they don't want to spend it at 1300. It's too expensive. It would seem perfect timing. Perhaps they mask these elections with something else, which may or may not be the rate change in new small category notes. That's my eye on the prize today. Could be wrong, just my opinion. Right, Frank 26 says there's hidden information being revealed in this week's bank stories, phone calls. They're running out of time. The Venturi effect of the whole monetary reform is becoming so narrow he can barely get everything through fast enough right now. The employees are being educated slash updated. Very good. They're telling them the dinar will be doing it. Sure. The banks know when, and they're getting the customers ready and preparing them. This is what I am coming across. You may still be getting a lot of denials, and that's to be expected. I am a central hub of information. People call me because they want me to share it with you. These bank stories are powerful. All right, Militiaman article quote, a statement issued by the Iraq Economic Contact Group of the Group of 7 countries, the European Union, and the World Bank. Militiaman says this data supports all that we've been seeing where Iraq is going international. It is coming out strong and to the point from the horse's mouth. For those that doubt it, good luck. All right, Caparoni says there's a new article out that many people are translating and confusing. They are not talking about an RV in Iraq. They are talking about the spread being in compliance early next year. Just a reminder, the spread is the difference between the official rate and the market rate or street rate and has been way out of whack recently in Iraq. This article simply means they expect the spread to come down closer to the official rate early next year. There is no RV. All right, Sheila says Iraq's election days are the 18th and 19th. Rumor has it they will release the new exchange rate post-election. We shall see if that's true or not in the coming days. Sandy Ingram says Iraq cuts oil production by 223,000 barrels per day voluntarily. Iraq is over 90% dependent on oil revenue and oil prices. Therefore, when OPEC speaks, we listen and we listen very carefully, almost as carefully as when CBI makes an announcement. Nita from the Mideast says in January, we'll be using the dinar only. 1st of January is going to be a big step, a big change. Wait for the 1st of January. That's when things are going to start happening. You might see the deleting of zeros or the new currency in January. Somewhere, somehow, it's going to be one-to-one. Frank 26 says if you held your dinars for 1 year and you have the receipt to prove that, the date, then more than likely you'll be somewhere in the 20% range of taxes. If you have no receipt, oh boy, you might be in the 40%. Yikes. You have 1 million, you'll have to give Uncle Sam $400,000. I'd rather give him 200,000 because I have a receipt where I've held my dinars for at least 1 year. For those of you that just bought your dinars last month, you might have to consider to hold on to them for another 11 more months for tax purposes. Note, some gurus do feel the dinar will be taxed as ordinary income and not capital gains, as suggested here. Always speak with your tax advisor at the appropriate time to determine the right tax for your unique situation. All right, Militia Man says they have a paragraph in the laws that they may need an amendment. It has to deal with the average production cost per barrel of oil. It used to be $8, now it's $21. When they change the value of the currency, it's going to need to be adjusted according for a fair valuation for how much money is it going to cost to get out of the ground. That's going to be relevant to what the dinar is worth because we're not going to be using the dollar. We are going to be using the dinar. Lastly, Mark Z via PDK says, I am not worried about a float. None of my bankers are worried about a float. I was told that because of the Oil for Dinar program, the redeeming banks or redemption centers, that this will be our best price. All my bankers agree.